Hi guys, welcome back to Next Goal Wins. Now then, we are in 2016. Another year has passed, and another season has passed, and things have got a little bit interesting. Now, we started off in April this year, not long after pre-season. In fact, we only had 2 or 3 weeks of pre-season before our Champions League games, which was very annoying. This is us playing with the big boys now. And unfortunately, the results kind of reflect that. It's our first attempt at the real group stages of the Champions League, and they did not go well. Watakere United, who I'm pretty sure actually went on to win this. Yeah, they did. So, they went on to win the entire tournament. And they've won it before. And for some reason, we were the favourites on the bookies, and I don't quite know why. I guess that's just because we've been doing so well in the league as of late, but Jesus, still. We lost a man, and we actually could have probably kept it at 1-0 if we hadn't have lost a man. And that's not going to make much difference, because I felt the moment we lost that game, we were done for. They didn't score until first half stoppage time, but then they scored 2 late goals after we got a man sent off, and it just kind of ruined us. I knew that then, from then on, I think it's the best runner-up of the 3 groups that gets the other spot. I knew that we weren't going to be able to get that, because the goal difference was probably going to be too shocking, even if we could win our last games, which we couldn't do either. We lost both of them by 3-1. Against AS Tefana, I'm pretty sure we did actually take the lead in this game, though. So, there's that. Yeah, we did. Uilata managed to give us the lead, but in the end it was turned around on us and we lost 3-1. We were the worst side. AS Tefana were better than us. And then we played Nadi, and a very, very similar thing happened, although I'm pretty certain... Yeah, we were 2-0 down before we even got going in that game. And we lost Molepola and Amisoni to injury in the same game. Although we did actually play quite well in this one, so there is room for optimism on that front. We do have some international fixtures as well, which we are going to talk about now, because these occurred before the league season even took place. So we're going to step on over to the OFC Nations Cup. Now then, in my next international squad, I'm literally just going to pick the entire Pago Youth team, because the others are such unknown quantities, and my assistant keeps trying to force in players that are useless. Like, I mean, truly useless. Like, we have some players that are considered sort of 4 or 5 stars now. Even though it's not in the exact positions, they have still got that at one position. And sometimes my assistant is putting forward players that are, like, not even grey stars. They're just useless, and it's really very irritating. So I'm just going to pick the entire Pago Youth team. Plus, it's so difficult. Calling up for national, it's an annoyance. So, yeah. We lost to Vanuatu, and Vanuatu are a decent side, so I wasn't all that surprised. I actually figured we'd come here and just get our asses handed to us in all 3 games and continue our slump down the rankings. We were really touching rock bottom in the rankings, but then we had an absolute wonder game. I genuinely have no idea how this even happened. Fiji, as you can see, were much, much better than us. They scored early on, I figured here we go again, and then, nope, James Uitala, no, Uilata, or Uiliata, I don't know how to pronounce these names, I'm so sorry, managed to level us up, and I thought, wow, if we take a draw here, amazing. We had some good chances in this game, and then when Dwayne Bartley scored the winner, I went, right, park all the buses, all of the buses, park the bus depot, and we did it. We got away with a win, and that's the first win that we've actually had under my stewardship, and Fiji are like 120th in the world or something like that. 133rd now, but when that game occurred, they were like 126th in the world. That moved us up like 30 places in the world rankings. Like, not even kidding. I'm going to try and show you. There must be a way we can... 179th in the world rankings. Now, we have slipped down a little bit as the season's gone on because we've not played any games, but even so, wow. Just a massive, massive thing for us. Then, of course, we were beaten 5-2 by Papua New Guinea and went out. But it was a good showing, and it was a slight improvement, and made me wonder if there's actually somewhere we can genuinely improve our national team. You never know, we might be able to achieve something in like 5 or 6 years' time when some of these alright players start to be matured a little bit more. Maybe if we can improve our youth academy and whatnot, but none of that's really happening because the money just isn't there yet. But now we're going to take a look back to the club form, because that's where we are concentrating our time at the moment. We had some friendlies, of course. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about our league season, because... do you see any red triangles? Do you see any red triangles in there at all? From that moment, on the 13th of April, where we lost that game, we went the next, Jesus knows how many games. I think it's 21 games there, because there's 14 League, 4 Cup, and 3 Champions League games. we went unbeaten for the next 21 games of this season. I was getting worried towards the start because we were drawing our away games, but then once we started picking up wins there, and look at this run of wins. A couple of draws at home made me worry again. I had nothing to worry about. We were excellent. We managed to beat our own B team in the cup final as well, who have just been relegated out of the second division, so things are not going so well for them, but that's probably because... Actually, I don't know why that is. We did do a lot better in the O-League Champions League qualifiers this year, though. We managed to scrape through with 6 points last time and go through on goal difference with everyone else pretty much tied on points. This year, bang, 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 3 wins. 3 pretty comfortable wins as well. We were brilliant. And that's what I wanted to see. Now, I'm just going to take you straight over to our stats, because that's pretty much what we're going to... Oh no, we're going to look at the league. We didn't actually win the league by as much as last year. Last year it was 14 points we won it by, and we got 37 points. This year, only 32 points, but we did also not lose a single game, which did unlock a nice big achievement for me, which is great, because I've never done an unbeaten season before, albeit a 14-game one, so it's a little bit sneaky, but it still counts. Dwayne Sillau, of all people, was our top goal scorer, and this is mainly because Pessimino Salapu had spent a lot of this season injured, which is a massive shame. Sillau filled in, and he's managed to score 10 league goals for us. Got 7 assists as well from when he was playing in the midfield. Somehow still didn't get the best average rating, as that went to Molly Poller. But it still happened, and that was our 3rd straight league title. No big surprise there. As you can see, we won the cup as well. Dwayne Sillau scored 6 goals in the cup as well, and got 5 assists. He's had the season of his life. I can't even imagine how. It's been brilliant. I'm very, very impressed with him. And if we take a look at the stats, you'll see he has clearly been our best player. Most appearances for us this year has actually been our goalkeeper. He's been an ever-present with 23 appearances. Sillau is the second most, though, and he's scored 17 goals this year. Salapu has only managed 6 goals in all competitions, but he has only played 11 games. He's not actually been that great considering his form last year, which is quite a surprise. Assists as well. Sillau has been a beast this year. He's been truly amazing. Unfortunately, I think he'll be 30 next year. He might already be 30. He's 29 at the moment. He's not even a very good player, yet he just seems to get in those positions. He has 2 finishing, yet has managed to score 17 goals in 21 appearances. Mental. It's just one of those things. Probably a little bit fluky, I'd like to think, anyway. When you look at the likes of Pessimino Salapu, who actually genuinely is a pretty decent player for our league, when you consider that most players are sort of 1 star in this league. We just have a couple of really decent ones. Now, this lad as well, I reckon he's got a lot of potential. He's getting up there. It's just some of his... He's going to be good in the next couple of seasons. He's only 20, but there's a lot of room for improvement. There is one other player as well. No, there isn't. What am I talking about? We've signed a couple more. We've got a couple more signed up because I'm just hoovering up any talent I can find. I don't know how, but Dwayne Sillau only has a 7.7 overall. I'm surprised he's not got an 8 overall. When you look at how well he's done this year, he's been immense. Just completely a colossus for us. And I don't think he's going to be able to continue that form on next season, but that is why we've made signings. Now, the ones we've made for this year are... Of course, they're in future signings because we've not made them yet. Only 2 of them. We're literally running out of players to sign. I'm mostly going around the youth intakes now because some of the other clubs weirdly have got slightly better youth academies than us. So it does help when they bring through some talent. We have got some of our own coming through though, so that's good to see as well. Travis Tassi, he's only a limited defender. That's his real skill, but then all of them start off like that, and I'm hoping we can then mould him into being a decent central defender over the next couple of seasons. And it looks like he's got the ability. This guy, though, TP Falaniko, look at this guy. Wow. He's only 18 as well. He has got some serious potential. Like, he could be the type of player that could carry us through. Still, lots of downsides, but then that's just how weak this league is. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's overall potential was like 50, and I mean that on the Football Manager scale of 1 to 200. He's probably got about 50 or 48 or something like that, because that's how poor these players almost certainly are. But it doesn't matter, because in this league he is like Pele, and I very much look forward to him playing for us next year, because he and Amisoni can then switch out. And one of the problems I found in the international tournament that we played, one of the problems I found in the Champions League was that we were knackered in between the games. There's not a huge amount of time. It's more than there was in the qualifiers here, but it's still not a great deal. It's basically Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday. And the problem I found is that after one game, our players were down to sort of 85, 80, between 80 and 85 conditioning, which meant that we had to put out practically a different team for that AS Tefana game, and then a different team to that, and still slightly different to the first one in the Watakara United game. Yet for some reason those teams were back to full conditioning after one game, so that might be an area we need to work on. Our fitness is, we have our entire training regime set to fitness. Oh, you can't actually see, but we have it set to fitness during the season and team cohesion during the off-season, because this tactic is actually starting to get quite well known by the club. And I'm genuinely curious to see how long we can carry on this unbeaten run. I know that it's 24 games in the league now we are unbeaten. Our last league defeat was then the Black Roses at home in August 2015. In fact, when you look at it, we've lost one league game last season and none this year, so that's one defeat in 28 league games. Although you could add in those three as well. That's a lot of games we've managed to go without losing. We are a very, very strong side, and we are only going to continue to get better with the team that we've got. When you look at some of these players compared to a lot of other teams, most of them won't even be coming close. These are areas we do need to improve. Our wingers do need to get better. Up front, Salapu, I wish our system would allow that, but we need to find a decent target man. Amasoni is excellent though, and we do have some very, very good players. This lad here, no, there's another one with the same name. I've completely forgotten. We have a lot of players with the same name. We have a very large squad, and that's because it's amateur, so we can pretty much do what we like. The only time that becomes a slight problem is when we're going into international competitions. Then it does start to become slightly problematic, because we have to register a team, and I have to sit there and go through and try and remember who's actually decent and who isn't, and that can be causing problems for us. But other than that, things seem to be good. Now, I was a little bit worried that this series would start to stagnate, because obviously we are dominating domestically, winning the league and cup every single season now for the last 3 years. The problem has been on the Champions League scale. Now, we are in the Champions League, of course, again, so the start of the next episode will be us once again, and the group has actually been drawn, I think. Yeah, we're with Arakale, who are from Vanuatu, who I think are amateur, in fact. Yep, they're an amateur team. Wow, their stadium's in the stadium pack. Canterbury, I think it's Canterbury United. Canterbury United FC, because that's really the FC, you need that, otherwise you'd never know it was a football team after that. Cool logo though, gotta say, from New Zealand. So I'm guessing Watakara United, despite winning this, didn't actually get back into it because they didn't win the New Zealand League. And then we got Solomon Warriors, yeah, from the Solomon Islands, and their stadium is in it as well. That's amazing. The depth in those packs is incredible. Unfortunately, I feel that we're going to have the exact same problem. We'll get battered probably in our first game, although it is against Amicali, so there might be slightly more chance for us, but I don't know. I think this is the sort of series that if in sort of 5 or 6 seasons' time, things are not progressing in any way, it might be time to call it a day, because I'm not sure this database, this particular part of the database, is fertile breeding ground for this kind of series. It might have been better to do this sort of series in Africa where there's more obvious prize money, because one of the annoying things about this league is that there is absolutely no prize money from what I can tell. I'm not entirely sure where that would be. I'm fairly certain if there was prize money it would be in here. In fact, let's go try and find out if that's the case. I just want to see if that's the case, because if that is, then there's problems. Let's try Champions League. Rules. Round appearance money. There's prize money in it, and I don't know if that applies to the African Champions League, but if it does, that'd be quite cool. CAF Champions League. What we're doing here. Rules. Yeah. Although admittedly not a great deal. There's still not a huge amount of money, but there's probably TV money and stuff licensed into it. So I'd like to think that perhaps when we do a series similar to this on Football Manager 15, we're probably going to choose an African country to do it with. Probably someone like Eritrea. Not going to say that for sure, because I genuinely don't know what the rankings are going to look like, and if we can find a database. It's not going to be something I'll do at the start of Football Manager 15, because there won't be a database that will actually be able to handle it at that stage. But when there is, and there's a space in the schedule, because there's going to be a lot of series going up with Football Manager 15 pretty much from the get-go, we will be doing another series like this, but hopefully it'll have a bit more longevity to it. Obviously this one's not over yet. We're going to carry on and do this until such time as we find that we're just sort of hitting a ceiling of our ability. That's at the point when you just kind of have to say there's only so much you can do. Hopefully that won't be anytime soon, and you will join us in the end of 2017 to see if we've made any progress in the only thing that really matters now, the Champions League. If you've liked what you've seen, hit the like button. If you'd like to do even more than that, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, bye-bye.